Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, the channel name is Alba Stitcher, and today is Tuesday the 18th of October, and it's been a bit of a hot minute since I made a video. I think it's 6 weeks, so I'll give you a little bit of a life update and tell you what's been happening there. But thanks to everyone who reached out to me. I had quite a few messages on Instagram and YouTube, people just asking me how I am and where are you and what you doing, and so that was really nice. I would love to tell you I was on holiday for 6 weeks in Barbados, but that's not the case. Apart from my very white skin, you know that's not true. I finally had the operation to remove the metalwork in my leg. So I have been stitching. This is maybe going to go all the way upside down, but I have been stitching. I didn't stitch all the 6 weeks, so I have 3 finishes, 3 new starts, I think, that are all kind of currently in progress at various stages. I have a stack of haul, because anybody knows when I'm in hospital, add to cart seems to be the only thing that I can effectively do. And I have the giveaway winner from the last video, so patience for those that have waited, and I have a little giveaway for this week as well. So thank you for everyone who reached out. I am alive and well. It's been a bit bumpy. I wish I could tell you all went swimmingly well, but it didn't. I have my trusty walking boot with me because that's what I have to wear, and I have a Pico dressing, which is a negative pressure dressing. You might hear it on the, don't worry, I'm not revealing anything. You might hear it when I'm talking, because if it goes off, it's quite loud, so I apologise if you hear that. So where will I start? I think I'll do a quick life update, then I'll do the stitchy stuff, and then I'll fill you in a little bit with my dad as well, because there's been stuff happening there. But I'm really happy to be making a video. I'm a little bit out of sorts, kind of, because, yeah, but I was determined I wanted to make one at least in the month of October. So first things first, I had a couple of false starts. If you follow me on Instagram, I had a couple of false starts to get my operation. They had called me, come into the hospital, we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen the first day, they sent me home. Didn't happen the second day they sent me home, but it happened on the third day. So third day, lucky for me. They went in and removed the metalwork. For anyone who is squeamish, maybe fast forward 15 seconds or so, because I was awake during the operation. I took a spinal tap, which means I wasn't knocked out. I didn't feel anything, but I did hear them drilling into my leg, and you feel it. And they had to over drill for one of the screws, and so some people like all the details. I have a lot of people asking me, no, tell me all the details, and other people are like, nope, don't tell me anymore. So recovery was fine. I stayed in hospital, I think, a full week, just over a week, I think. And while I was in hospital, there's no problems with the wound. Everything was going really well, but I was in because I had an infection in my leg. So there was an infection on the plate. That was not easy to get under control. They gave me some IV. They then sent me away with some oral antibiotics, and I returned to the hospital. So I released on the Friday. I returned on the Tuesday, and they were like, oh yeah, it's looking good. Everything's looking well. Another Pico dressing, away you go. But come back on Friday to get your stitches out. I returned on the Friday, and they took the stitches out, and the consultant was like, you need to come in. You need some heavy duty antibiotics. And luckily I got on very well with this consultant, and I said to her, you've had me enough. She said, 2 days, Amanda, give me 2 days. So that was the weekend, and we'll get you fixed. So I went in. Yeah, it was not 2 days. I went in and I didn't get out till the following Wednesday. So it was like 5 days. Veins collapsing with IV, blood's getting checked, you name it. So anyway, they finally released me, and they've put me on a different course of oral antibiotics. But this one has a range of side effects, and more importantly, the side effects can damage my bone marrow, so I now need to go every week and get my blood checked, just to make sure there's nothing happening there. But onwards and upwards, I was back at the hospital this morning. I have my new Pico fitted. The wound is looking not too bad. They've taken blood. I go back next week. Let's see what happens. I'm feeling okay. The antibiotics that they've given me can affect your stomach. Really affects your stomach. And I've had quite a lot of acid reflux, but I mean, that is easy to cope with. So yeah, that's been where I have really what's been happening in the last 6 weeks. I think I went in at the end of September, or around about the 20-something of September, so maybe a week after my last Flosstube. It's just been a kind of roller coaster, particularly when they took me in for a second time. But I'm actually feeling all right. These other antibiotics, the dangerous ones that everybody keeps talking about, I feel okay. And I've actually managed to get back to stitching, which was really important for me. I tried in the hospital, I couldn't. Hospital, the first ward I was in was a bed of 4. Orthopedic beds tend to be older people, and I was probably the most mobile, so I was always putting on the TV or closing the blinds for them, or they couldn't reach their sticks or whatever it is. And then when I went in the second time, I was in a bed of 6, again a lot older women. So again, I was the most mobile, but my leg's not broken. It is literally just recovering from the surgery and getting this infection under control. They are estimating I'll be on the antibiotics for another 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 weeks. I've already done a week and I got another 5 weeks to go, but I'm feeling okay. And more importantly, I've been stitching, and that's really why you're all here, as much as everyone is really nice and asks me, but that's why you're here. So I have stitched a little bit. I do have a few finishes that I'm really pleased to share with you, and I have some other whips. I have lots of haul. If haul is not your thing, then yeah, I would like to apologise, but see, when you're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning in a hospital bed and you're a little bit uncomfortable, you know, adding things, buying stitchy things, as well as clothes. I bought tons of clothes. It's kind of what keeps you going. That's the truth. Anyway, what have I been stitching? The first thing I'd like to share with you is that I finished my Prairie School Prairie Bird for September. I haven't started October. So this is the one for September. I noticed on Instagram someone had finished all 10 of them, which I'll look for and link below so that you can see them all. They all looked fabulous. But this one I really enjoyed stitching. I feel as if I stitched it. I must have stitched it a good kind of 5 weeks ago, before all this kind of really bubbled up. Okay, and that is stitched on 28 count. This is summer khaki, using the called for DMC 2/2. Quite like it. Got 3 left to do. I need to keep focused so that I can finish them before the end of the year. I really do. I also started and finished this little design here, and I thought this was Picture This plus Fawn, the fabric. And this is because, very sadly, Queen Elizabeth died in the UK here. I know everybody's kind of spoken about it, but I wanted to do something just to commemorate having a queen, because that's us now. We'll have a run of kings. And this is a design by the Snowflower Diaries, and I've seen it before and I'd seen it stitched, and I always kept thinking, oh, I'm going to do it, and then I thought this was an apt time to do it. That's with all the called for threads, and I think this is Picture This plus Fawn that I stitched on. It's my kind of go-to neutral a lot of the time. But yep, this is really good. And actually the threads I used were DMC. I never used the overdyes. I'm sure they're all DMC. I don't think I had them. I was keen to start, so I just looked to see what I had in my stash. And that's it. And I think this is called Corgi Love on the Snowflower Diaries. I'll link it below. But I really enjoyed stitching it. I have no idea how this is going to be finished or what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I finished that. And my third finish was one that didn't require a lot of work. It was, I think it took me an hour last night, but it just shows you I've not even managed to muster up an hour to finish this project. So it's been sitting for, yeah, the 5 weeks, 6 weeks I've been gone. And it's this one here. And this is Country Cottage Needleworks. Love Lives Here. This was very graciously gifted to me by Sarah, SewMeSarah. And I'm going to pass it on to someone else, which is really good. And here is my, it's still in the queue snap. I brought it out the project bag. And this is my finish. Super happy with it. This fabric is 32 count needle and flax dirty teacup. I had a few problems with the fabric, but it's all worked out well. I can't really complain. It's all good. And I used the called for over dies. And I'll tell you, I think these were all full skeins. So if you're also going to stitch this one, I basically used a full skein of the bamboo and of the shrimp cocktail. And I didn't do a lot of frogging. But this is it. How cute is this? I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to frame it. I don't know. I don't know if I want to frame it or whether I would like it as a kind of big flat fold, or I'm not sure. But I finished it. I'm happy I finished it. It would have been finished ages ago if I'd just got my act together, but I couldn't. I couldn't muster it up to get it finished. It was just, yeah. And the borders were fine. I think I just ended up with a little doodads around the sides that were really taking some time. So that's the 3 finishes. And, you know, I could just work on my whips because I've got lots of whips, but I choose not to. I choose to have new starts, which, yeah, are mind-blowing sometimes. But I started this, I think, because I saw someone else stitch it. And this is a Luca-S kit. I've changed out the fabric. I didn't want to use the called for fabric, but I saw this. I think I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw it was maybe a Polish stitcher stitching it, and I thought, oh, that's nice. And you'll see that I bought this one and I bought a kind of companion piece, which I'll show you in my haul. But I wanted to start it. So I did. Now, in terms of how far I've gotten, I've not gotten that far. But I've started it. That's the most important thing. And I'm hoping I'll be able to pick up a bit more. So, so here's my meagre start. It's really meagre, but I have started, as you can see. I know this fabric's a bit darker. It's actually not that dark in real life. Just probably that's about the right shade. And this again, I think, is fawn. I do have a lot of fawn in my stash, so there's no ticket on it, but I am sure this is Picture This Plus fawn. And this is my first time using the Nudge frames. These were recommended, I think, by Stuart and Alice, and they were talking about Nudge frames, and I thought I'm going to try and get them. So I've bought a few. You'll see them in a couple of the other projects as well. But this is my little start, and I'm wanting to try and get back to that. I saw Dawn, Frosty XStitch, sent me a little message to tell me that Jessie Marie, or Jessie Does Stuff, has started a style, or is starting a style, and it's to do with owls, so I'll probably stitch on this to join in with that style. But this kit's really good. I've never had, I think I might have Luca-S kits in my stash, but I think this is like the first one I've stitched. And it all comes, the threads are already pre-sorted on the cards. It's really, really, really easy to follow. The chart is nice and big. Let me show you a little bit of it. I bet that I've maybe stitched, or here, let me show you this. So you can see the chart is like really nice and clear. And I am old school. You see that highlighter? I'm old school. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. And I'm going to try, now that I'm out of hospital, going to try and get some more stitches in that. It's not be a quick fit. It'll not be a quick finish, but I do enjoy it. I do like an owl. And the sad thing is I have another owl project to share with you, so I've not stopped just with one owl project. So yeah, that's that one. Then I started this. I just started this last night. And it's this one here. I'm going to say this one here. And this is for a gift for someone at Christmas time. And they really like pink. And I thought, oh, that's quite a nice kind of Santa. These are the called for threads. And yes, this is 70 by 70. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 called for threads all over dies. Don't laugh. Please don't laugh at my start. I only started it last night, but I'm only working on his beard. So that's as far as I've gotten. And this is also fawn. Oh my goodness, that's all I seem to be buying at the moment. This is 32 count fawn by Picture This Plus, stitch 2/2. Don't blow out. Let people see the... And that's the little start, and that's his beard. So it's really nice. I'm going to try and finish this one off. And this one's got the beads also in it. So there's a little bead pack there. So I started that last night. I'm hoping that I can try and get that finished in the month of October so that I can then send it to get finished by Lynn, and then I've got it for December. No pressure on her, no pressure on me. And I want to mention these project bags. I bought a few project bags, which also is part of my haul. So there's this one, vinyl front, and you'll see the vinyl front is kind of sparkly, and there's this one for my owl project. So I'll tell you where I got these in a second once I show you this third project. So another project I started on is another owl project, and it's this one here by Jardin Prive. And this is how far I've gotten with this one. So this is a little bit better. This is a little bit more respectable. And this is stitched on 32 count Picture This Plus Storm. And as you can see, I've done the 3 baby owls and part of the branch, and I'm going to move on and do the big mama owl, and then this one will be finished. It's not bad, it's easy stitch, all DMC, really clear. But yeah, I don't know why I've got a wee bit of a run on owls. Maybe I was feeling a bit, yeah, don't know, looking for something for comfort, so I stitched on the owls. So the bags that I have gotten are from a company, not on Etsy, but they've got their own website, Gems Stitchery. I am sure I saw these on Instagram, and I was like running over to see what she had, and I was really impressed. I ordered 3 bags. I'll show you the next one in the haul. Obviously this one I think this one was in the sale, and it's a small one, and actually I quite like it. And the fabric's all like happiness, happinesses, home, all that kind of stuff. It's got lovely vinyl on the front. If you don't know if you can see the stars. And then I asked her specifically for owl fabric. She gave me a couple of choices, but this was the one that I chose. And you know, even the contrast fabric's great with the stripes. Again, it's got a kind of sparkly, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, vinyl in the front, but these are impressive. These are great. Very good value, I would say. And I'm really happy with them. I have lots of project bags. I have no real preference. Doesn't always have to be vinyl fronted. I'm probably going to order another smaller one for the smaller projects. But yeah, I like my owls. I'm going to see if she can get me some more owl fabric, because I'm kind of loving it. So yeah, and what was lovely is that she sends these little quotes, which I thought was quite good, because you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I always kind of post something daily, and so I quite like this. And I don't know if you can read that. it's all about finding the calm in the chaos. Donna Karen. So I thought that was quite nice when I was reading that, and I thought, yeah, that's true. So Gem Stitchery, I'll link her below. Hopefully I'll have purchased the bags that I want before you all go to it. But she's got a wee bit of a selection, quite a good selection of Halloween fabric. This is the medium, and yeah, I would say 8x8 Q-snap. This is the large, and that would easily fit an 11x11 Q-snap. Have I got an 11x11 hanging around? Maybe not. And then she does extra large. The extra large are really big, but that might be quite good if you're going to a retreat for multiple projects, but I do like these ones. Okay, so that's part of my haul and the projects that I've worked on. I have tons of haul. And you know, I feel the urge to apologise for it, but really, when you're in hospital, there's nothing much else you want to think about. So the first thing I purchased is the final 3 months of the stitch along I'm going to do next year. So this year I'm doing the Prairie Birds. Fingers crossed I get them all finished before the end of the year. But then I picked up doing the Quakers from the Heart Needle Art. So this is October, and I've got the threads. That's November, and I've got the threads, and then finally that's December. And there's only 2 threads in December. Now, that's me got the whole year, and I've got all the threads. I'll need to check I've got all the threads, because it's possible I could be missing 1 or 2. But I don't know really if I want to do them individually. And then last night it came to me that maybe I want to do them all in one piece. I mean, I don't know how big that would be. It might be so big. It might dominate if it's on the wall, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to just do them as little flat folds, and then I can just change them out as the month passes, or if I want it all on one piece of fabric. I don't know. But that's, if you're wanting to join me, maybe you want to do another Quaker from the same kind of series, because she doesn't just do the monthly ones. She's got the Halloween Quaker, which I've got a finished Spooky Quaker before. There's Grateful Quaker. I think there's actually Quaker Birds that I saw advertised. So there's lots of Quakers. Maybe you could pick a Quaker up and join me next year. I'm only hoping these don't turn out to be too much to do 1 a month, because then it means everything else doesn't get stitched. Okay, so that was my first piece of haul. My second piece of haul is totally enabled by what I saw on Instagram. Yes, you're seeing a pattern here. When I was in the hospital, I spent a lot of time on social media. Okay, so wait, let's just put this in the right one. I was on social media, and there was a stitcher in the US who had stitched all of Nora Corbett's Bewitching Pixies. Oh gosh, right, Bewitching Pixies. I have only one so far in my collection, which was Anna, and she had stitched all the original 12, because I believe they've added Sea Witch, and there's maybe other ones added now to the oh my goodness, words are really challenging series. So what I wanted to do was, she had framed them, she'd done them all in the same fabric, and I think it was Picture This Plus Cyprium maybe. So they were all done in the same fabric. They were all framed similarly, and they were all up on a wall. She'd put some other Halloween decor up. It looked fabulous, and I was like, I'm needing some of that. So I went to Arts and Design, and I was like, right, let's see what you've got. I was determined to buy the chart and the bead pack together, and yeah, I've managed to pick up a few. So let me show you what I have. I have this one here, which is Raven. Make sure I give you the right names, because yeah, anything is possible. Yeah, this is Raven. So the first one I got was Raven, and I picked up the bead pack as well. I've not bothered with threads yet, I will look at threads later because I don't know when I'm going to stitch these. But I'm also very conscious that Nora Corbett's go out, they retire them and they go out of print, and then everything's like really expensive. So I wanted to get the 12 before that happens. I don't have 12 yet. I'm on my way. So this is Gigi. And I've got the beads. This is, I think this is Minerva. Is this Minerva? Yeah, this is Minerva. This one here. And the beads. And I've got Anna already in my stash. And this last one so far I have is Eva. So actually not too bad. That's me got 5. And I've also got the beads for Anna in here. So that's me got 5. Got 7 more to go. But I bought all of them from Arts and Designs. I got the charts and the bead pack, all very reasonably priced. Great service from them. So I bought them. What else did I buy? Some of the Expo releases. Is it Expo? I didn't pre-order anything this year, but I have bought some charts that were released at Expo. Have I got the right event, or was it Galleria? Was it Galleria? Man, see what happens when you go into the hospital? Your mind just goes to mush. So the first thing I bought was this. Autumn Provides. So I now have the full set. I have stitched one. Do not know when I will stitch the others. But I got this. Don't even have the threads for this. I need to remember to order the threads for that. And then I bought the Teresa Kogut Halloween book. This is in my opinion, this is fabulous. If you like Teresa Kogut, which I do, and I have another couple of Teresa Kogut's charts. I mean, these are fabulous. Look at these cats. Who doesn't like a black cat? So I would say this booklet's very much worth the money. Now, I think I got this from Peakside. So this is really good. Lots of good stuff in this. And I am a patron for Teresa Kogut on her Patreon. It's really good value. I would recommend that as well. And this is a new to me designer, Primrose Cottage. I've never had any of their charts, but I saw this one, another little cat. Quite like it. So yeah, you do know that I'm going to turn into an octopus and have 8 arms so that I'm able to stitch all this stuff. But yeah, picked up that. Then I picked up some other stuff. Let me see. I picked this one up off Stash Unload. And if you remember, I'm stitching the Halloween and quilt. And this is the autumn and quilt. I do like autumn. I mean, I know a lot of people do. And a lot of people stitch a lot of autumn. Yeah, I need to stitch more autumn. It's really what I love. I love the colours. Yeah, I just love it all. Oh, picked up this Teresa Kogut as well. Can you see that? Is that clear enough? Okay, this is all going to fall. Everything's precariously balanced. And then I picked up this one. I really like this one. Whimsy Halloween, and I've pulled the threads so that I can get started. This is a possibility to get started, and I have a piece of Picture This Plus Eek, and it's not that dark, and I'm wondering if it'll look nice on this. So this one, don't be surprised if I've started that when I return. I also picked up this one by Annie B's Folk Art. Welcome to our patch. Thought that was really nice. I like the colours. I just love it. That's also one I want to start. I picked up another Jardin Prive, and if you've followed me for any kind of time, you might remember I did the Eiffel Quaker a long time ago. And what I love about these designs is that you can use them as monochromatic, or you can kind of mix up some colours, and that's what I did with the Eiffel Quaker. I think I ended up using black, a couple of purples and a sparkly thread. So yeah, I've seen this one done. It looks great. Some people have used some fabulous fabric on the back. My goodness, I didn't realise I had bought so much autumn stuff. Then I picked up Autumn Towne by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I love this as well, and I saw this recently finished. There's a lot of stitching in this. I'm not starting it this year, but I might start it next year. And Misty Purcell, I think, she's just brought one out called Harper's Forest, I think. And I think they might be quite good companion pieces. I need to actually purchase that. I had emailed her to see, or messaged her to see if she was putting it on as PDF. And she has, so I can go back to Etsy and pick it up. So that's Harper's Forest. I've not bought it yet. Thought it might go quite well with this one. Is there any more Halloween? I think there is. Right, we're getting close to the end here. I also picked up Barbara Anna Spooky Tree, which I really love. And Barbara Anna is a meow cat. Only because it was a cat. That was all I picked this one up for. And finally from Barbara Anna, I picked up Autumn Tree. I have done the All Hallows Eve, which I actually loved. And I thought this one, I saw this one finished and I really liked it. So I picked that one up. And I think this is the last of the chart haul. I'm embracing the next season, Christmas. And I picked up these Christmas cookies, which I really like. So that was all the haul. I have a few other pieces, but not much. So this was the other bag I got from Stitchery. This was the Halloween one. And as I say, this is the large. And maybe you will see you can see now the vinyl. It's really well made. So yeah, I bought that. I also received 2 months worth, because that's how long it is since I've filmed, of my Thread Club. Oh, words are difficult. I don't know now if it's the medication, if it's the fact I'm just out of practice, or if it's menopause, I don't know. But anyway, my Thread Club from Lakeside. And we must be getting close to the end, because I see we're on to M's now. So we're getting there. So I had 2 months that have come in. So that's quite good. And I think next time, and I have a feeling of deja vu. So if I've said this before, I apologise. I think next time I might show you how I store my threads. It's not perfect, but it's just how I've been storing them. And I also got my fabric of the month. Excuse the crinkle, please, from Sparklies. And it's this piece here. And actually, this is a great piece. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I have a couple of pieces like this, of similar. And one I had put into the project. It was an Emma Congdon project, which was about magic. It was a kind of Halloween magic, and it was done on a dark blue. But I wanted another piece. Spookily enough, I'd wanted... God, I'm cracking jokes now. Spookily enough, I had wanted another piece for a design called Raven. It's a full coverage, but I'm not going to do it full coverage, as I saw someone else had just picked out the Raven. But I didn't have another kind of suitable blue, but I think this could be suitable enough. So yeah, that's Sparklies. It's not as light as that. It's probably, I'm just trying to, it is darker. If you, from back here, that's the kind of, it is darker, but it's lovely. Lovely fabric. I'm really pleased with that. And that, my friends, ends the haul. It's now so much, but stitching and stashing kind of give me a lot of happiness. So, what else do I have? I have a giveaway winner. In my last video, I had purchased one of these, but I didn't need to purchase it because I have the Readly app and I have it there. So I had said to use the word Halloween, and I've just done the random comment picker before I came to film. And Alison Green is the winner. What I'll do is I'll leave a message, a little comment on Alison's comment. And Alison, if you can get in touch with me, easiest way is I think through Instagram, but you can also send me an email. My email address is in the description box below, and let me know your email, and I'll get this in the post to you. If you do it quickly, hopefully it might come before Halloween. If not, Sorry, it's my fault because I've been ill. But I do also have a giveaway for this week. You may remember a couple of videos ago, I had come across someone who provided or supplies the chameleon threads, and I had bought quite a few of them because I really liked the green in them. So what I did was I just picked 2 colours, and these 2 colours will be the ones that I'll give away. I don't really want to open the little packet, but you're not really seeing the colours so well. They're both kind of bluey. Let me see if I can read this. No chance, even with my fancy Dan glasses, so I may have to open it. Let me see. The colours are... Sea Mist, and this looks like Scottish Heather. Okay, so those 2 colours are the threads, and I thought, not really, also wanted to put in a piece of fabric, which was this was gifted to me, so I would like to also include a piece of fabric. This looks like, to me, 32 count. It's a kind of off antique white, quite a big piece. So thread, and the fabric for the lucky winner. If you can use the comment winter, because I think these are quite wintry colours, so go for winter. Use the word winter. Usual rules apply. You should be over 18 so that you can give me your address. Please don't use the comment giveaway or prize. And I'll randomly choose someone at the next video. Hopefully that'll be in a couple of weeks' time, and you could receive the fabric and the threads, which I think could be quite useful for a winter design. Okay, so that's all my stitchiness. A little bit of an update about my dad. My dad's a bit... things have maybe progressed a little bit with my father. He has been back a couple of times to the geriatric consultant. His walking is getting worse. It seems to be with the Lewy body dementia that his walking's getting worse. So we need to get an extra kind of handrail fitted in the house for the stairs. Quite forgetful at times, and they've put him on some other medication. My mum is just, her whole life now is just taken up with my dad. Although she does a lot for me, particularly when I was really not able to move around, and she's the one that drives me to all the appointments. It's not a local hospital I go to, it's one on the other side of the city, because if anybody knows anything about the NHS over the years, they've just managed to close down all the local hospitals, so you now need to travel miles to get anywhere. So a lot of her time is just spent with him, and he's refusing to go to any kind of day centre or club. Doesn't want anything like that, just wants to spend all his time with my mum. So that may sound sweet to some people and nice, but it's now even a struggle for her to get to the hairdresser. She used to come with me. Now that doesn't look like that's going to be possible, so it's a real kind of all-encompassing for her. But they had stopped my dad's driving licence was due for renewal, and the doctor had said to him, "You're not going to be able to drive. That just let it go." But my dad had persevered, and he wanted to apply to DVLA to get his licence renewed. Lo and behold, we got a letter, and he's to go for some driving test to see how he can cope in the car. And I just see that as a really, if the doctor has said he's not fit to drive, and the doctor, as far as I know, said that to DVLA, I don't know why we're going through this kind of carry on. But so we've got that to look forward to at the end of November. I'm worried about the fallout of that. If he doesn't pass and they say that's it, you've not got your licence, he'll take that quite quite badly, and it also terrifies me if they do give them my license back. So there's lots there, but onwards and upwards, I suppose. Tough times, but no more than anybody else. Everybody's got stuff going on. I think that's it. I think I've yabbered on enough. I hope you are all well. Thanks to everyone who reached out to me. Thanks to everyone who bought me a coffee also. I hope you're all stitching away, enjoying all the lovely fall things, and maybe even thinking about some Christmas stuff. And I'll see you in a few weeks' time. And maybe I'll not have my big boot on anymore and my little buzzy friend anymore. Maybe that'll all be gone and normal service will resume. Okay, bye-bye.